Those who seem to think that moms are just moms. Well, baby, let me let you in on who we really are. We're alarm clocks, we're bathroom attendants, we're hairdressers, we're personal stylists, we're cooks, we're nannies, we're housekeepers, and that's all before we get ourselves together in the morning. We're physicians, but we ain't got no PhD, but we can heal wounds. We're lawyers, we ain't got no degree in that either, but we can mediate between siblings who can't seem to get along, and sometimes adults who act like kids too. We are chefs who can pull together a meal with the little scraps in the refrigerator. We're accountants who can make money stretch when you don't even know. We are strong because we can hide the stress that you don't seem to think we go through. We are all the things that you don't even see at night. With prayer warriors praying over our house when everybody else is asleep. We are the ones that's keeping the enemy at bay because we're the one laying on our face. We are the strong weapons who God has ordained for this position, baby. We ain't just a mother, and you better not even let that come out your mouth again. Let me tell you who we are. We're a super one.
I quit being a mom. Fuck it. Fuck it. My hands are tied. Fuck it. I can't do it anymore. It's too much. It's too hard. It's a lot. You smell me? You smell me? I'm trying to be a baby daddy. That's what I want.
I hate my kids. I hate myself for saying that. I don't even want to be around my kids. I feel so full of shame and blame for even thinking those things.
I've came to the conclusion that I hate being a mom. I hate being a mom. I've been thinking about it for days. And I think it's the introduction that I had to being a mom and all the extra responsibilities that I have as a mom that some moms may not have. And I get it. A lot of moms got it worse. Don't get me wrong. I know a lot of moms have it worse, but I hate being a mom.
No, you're doing it wrong. That's the fucking problem. Pay attention. 1 foot, boom.
If your mother never tells you that she's proud of you or that she loves you, just know it's not your fault. There isn't, anything that you did as a child or even as a grown adult that made her act that way towards you.
Mother's responsibilities are vast.
Those who seem to think that house when everybody else is a super one.
You smell me? I'm trying to be a baby daddy. That's what I want.
I hate my kids. I hate myself for saying that. I don't even want to be around my kids. I feel so full of shame and blame for even thinking those things.
I've came to the conclusion that I hate being a mom. I hate being a mom. I've been thinking about it for days. And I think it's the introduction that I had to being a mom and all the extra responsibilities that I have as a mom that some moms may not have. And I get it. A lot of moms got it worse. Don't get me wrong. I know a lot of moms have it worse, but I hate being a mom.
No, you're doing it wrong. That's the fucking problem. Pay attention. 1 foot, boom.
If your mother never tells you that she's proud of you or that she loves you, just know it's not your fault. There isn't, anything that you did as a child or even as a grown adult that made her act that way towards you.
Mother's responsibilities are vast, shaping her children's emotional, mental, and physical well-being. She nurtures, educates, and provides unconditional love, creating a strong foundation for her children's growth. A mother's role extends beyond caregiving. She teaches life skills, instills values, and fosters emotional resilience. Her responsibility includes ensuring her children's health, safety, and emotional stability while encouraging independence. Qualities of a good mother include patience, empathy, and strength. She is emotionally available, offering a listening ear and a comforting presence during challenging times. A mother leads with compassion, understanding her children's need and guiding them with gentle discipline. She is adaptable, balancing multiple roles while being a source of consistent love and support. A mother inspires confidence, independence, and kindness, ensuring her children grow into respectful and well-rounded individuals. Above all, a mother's unconditional love serves as the bedrock of a healthy, nurturing family.
I was a horrible mother. Horrible. I was a great father.
That's why modern motherhood is enjoyable, because you have no time to yourself. Don't come for me. So, oh, you're a mother, though? Don't do that. Don't come for me. The way motherhood is supposed to be ran is there's supposed to be a village. Okay?
Let's talk about the mother wound when nurture is missing. You may have grown up with a mother, but still feel deeply unmothered. The mother wound is what your mother couldn't give you because of her own wounds. I'm going to give you 5 signs that you are experiencing a mother wound. You feel guilty for having needs. That's because you were likely shamed or dismissed for asking for attention or help. You struggle to trust women or form deep female friendship. That's because the first woman in your life was not emotionally safe. You constantly criticize yourself because your mother's voice became your inner voice, which wasn't kind. You don't know how to receive love because love was conditional, inconsistent, or used as a weapon. You feel responsible for everyone's emotions because you had to emotionally caretake for your mother at a young age.
We were deprived of spiritual nutrients as a child. We were not properly nurtured.
Y'all can say what y'all want. I'm telling you, single moms have it the worst. Single moms have it the freaking worst. When it comes to taking care of your kid and making sure they good, you are the first point of contact. Everything relies on you. If you get upset, oh, don't be so upset at your kids. Why?
I fucking hate being a mom. I fucking hate being a parent. Like, I fucking hate it. And I feel bad for saying that, but like, I wish someone would have let people with BPD know that like we really shouldn't be moms. Like, having a kid is too fucking complicated.
This is why I'm telling these wives when they tell me they're not nurturing, they're not affectionate. I said, so where he's gonna get it?
Yeah, where is he?
Where is he about to get it? Especially if he doesn't have a mother in his life or he doesn't have a close relationship. Where is this man getting this affection if it's not from you? And so how are you abusing that by pulling away your affections? Like, and you think that's okay? That's a punishment to someone. Like, I'm not.
Yeah.
And my husband, I had to tell him a long time ago, hey, I'm your place of peace.
Sure.
I tell my husband come in, I'm like, hey, you want to lay down in my lap? And I rub his back. He said, I love when you rub my back. I said, absolutely. He's bald, you know. I do
rub his head?
I rub his head. I rub his back. I do whatever because I'm trying to be different than anybody in his life. I'm like, this man ain't never leave me because everybody out here ain't operating like this. Yeah. I want him to be like, I'm not going to, if I leave this woman, I ain't going to get my head rubbed. I ain't going to get my back rubbed. I'm not going to get it.
A mother-daughter relationship is where a daughter learns how to nurture by being nurtured. She is loved. She is taught and experiences firsthand what it feels like to have someone care enough about her to correct her while continuing to engage, encourage, and believe in her at the same time.
How can you nurture love in your children for themselves when the mother don't have it? Come on. So you, dear, beautiful black women, have been nurturers of hatred, self-hatred, self-rejection. Yes, it is true. So the God qualities can never come to birth in a child that hates himself.
Dropping gems from my mother's heart. Mama taught me how to walk with grace, hold my head high through every phase. Soft-spoken words, but the message deep. Plant good seeds and your soul gon' reap. She said, beauty fades if your spirit cold. A woman's worth can't be bought or sold. Wear your crown even through the rain. Turn your lessons into golden chains. Every scar became wisdom. Every tear became light. Now I carry her voice every day, every night. Dropping gems from my mother's heart. Little pieces of wisdom, turning pain into art. Red dropping gems, yeah. She showed me the way, how to stand like a queen and still pray through the day. Red lipstick, soft smile, so divine. Class and elegance every time. She taught me strength ain't loud or mean. Real women move calm and unseen. Even storms couldn't break a glow. That kind of wisdom money can't hold. Every word still echoes in me like Sunday songs and sweet blues melodies. She told me, never let this world harden your heart. Stay soft, but never weak. And every lesson she gave me, I pass down now, one gem at a time. Red dropping gems, yeah, from my mother's heart. Every lesson she gave still lighting up the dark. Red dropping gems, now her voice slips through me. Grace, wisdom, femininity, that's the legacy. From my mother's heart.
Those who seem to think that moms are just moms. Well, baby.
Hey everybody, welcome to Realistic Vibes, where the vibe is always positive. How y'all doing on today? This wonderful Sunday. I hope everybody is doing well. Shouts out to everybody that's tuning in. I know it's a lot going on right now. Okay. But shouts out to everybody that came through and to support the stream on today. I don't know what happened. So I had the stream thing set up, days ago. So then when I went back today, it wasn't linked to the YouTube. So I mean, it just got crazy. I had to delete that from the YouTube, do another one, put all the information. Rough day, y'all. Rough day. Shouts out to everybody that's tuned in. Thank you guys for coming through. I saw a few people that popped in to support the show. Shouts out to Batman is in the house. Hey, Jeremy, brother Jeremy is in the house. Shouts out to DJ Vapors is in the house. Hey, DJ. Shouts out to Shizzy is in the house. Hey, Shizzy. Shouts out to Judas is in the house. Hey, Judas. Yeah, so I was look, y'all acting up in these streets on a Sunday, okay? Acting up on this Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon. It's interesting. It's interesting. But I know it's a lot going on, but I thank you guys for just popping through and to support your girl, okay? Of course, this is Red Dropping Gems from my mother's heart. Today, guys, we are going to talk about the lost art of nurturing. What happened to motherhood? The lost art of nurturing. What happened to motherhood? Because, child, look, these chickadees out here in these streets, baby, child, I don't know what you can really tell that a lot of young mothers have not been taught correctly, right? By the way they are, treating their children, how they're treating their spouses, and just the lack of knowledge of how to curate and nurture your family. So we're going to talk about that today. I know this is not a popular segment on Real Lipstick Vibes, but I got to do what I am called to do, and that is to school the ladies, because I am one of the elders around here. Okay, so I am going to school, teach, and try to give some nuggets to the ladies. Okay. and the gents too, and for the fellas too. Shouts out to everybody that has been supporting. Thank you, Batman and Shizzy for the cash apps. Thank you very much. Let me update the banner. Let me update the banner. Let me update the banner. Ooh. Okay. Let me update the banner. As you know, today's goals is always the same. 15 memberships. 14 memberships. And $80 towards the paper towel fund. So it's been really, really hot here, guys. And so I've been sleeping under the air, like right directly under the air, baby. And so like I am so congested. So please forgive me if I sound like a frog up in here. I am so congested. I'm so congested right now. So as you know, that is the goals for today. And shout out for Shizzy for gifting the membership. Thank you, Shizzy. Let me see. Make sure I have everything I need before I flip over. So I hope if you didn't see the clip in before, I was just giving you a little bit of context of what we're going to be talking about. When mothers are literally tired, not just tired, but they hate being a mother. And also in the clip, it talks about, the lack of mothers that have the nurturing spirit, right? They are very harsh and very mean to the kids. Like you have some, like I saw one video. Oh my God, I saw one video where the mom, she literally kicked her kid down the stairs because the kid was was taking too long for her. And clips of mothers just yelling and screaming at their children for no reason. So just the lack of care and consideration and nurturing for the family as a whole, because not only do you supposed to nurture your children, but you're supposed to nurture your family, your husband, right? And the home all together. So we're going to talk about that today. I'm trying not going to be here too long because we do have ladies first later. So let's get started. And shout out to everybody that is tuning in. Please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and then let's get started. All right, guys. So we're going to be talking about the lost art of nurturing. Okay, the lost art of nurturing. And the question is, what happened to motherhood? So I put a question in the chat, and I'm going to put it, matter of fact, let me put it in the comments. I put a question in the chat. The lost art of nurturing. Did we stop teaching women that? So ladies, when you go back and watch the show, answer that question. Did we stop teaching it? Because we're going to find a lot of women going to say, well, I was never taught that. I wasn't never taught how to be a soft woman, never taught to be a nurturing mother. I just thought as long as I provide food, clothes, and shelter, and a place, that's all I needed to do. That's me being a mother. And they don't have the ability to actually pour into their children, in their household, and into their husbands, right? So that's what we're going to talk about today, okay? So let us get started. All right. What is nurturing? What nurturing really is? What nurturing really is? Nurturing is emotional presence, consistency, care, creating an environment where people feel safe and supported. Nurturing is power. Nurturing builds. The traditional nurturing model is mother equals emotional center of the home. Home equals a place of stability, warmth, and routine. Children equals raised with the presence, not just provisions. And that's what I just said. A lot of women nowadays, a lot of mothers are just in tune to the fact that as long as I provide food, clothes, and shelter, that's all that's needed, then that deems me as a good mother. And then the traditional nurturing model for marriage is a duty plus commitment plus emotional labor. Historically, women were primarily responsible for caregiving and home building. Extended family often supported child rearing, like the grandmothers, the aunties. And nurturing wasn't optional, it was expected, taught, and modeled. And we're going to get into that because that's going to play a big part in this discussion. So the question is nurturing power or perceived as weakness? What do you guys think? Is nurturing power or perceived as weakness? So here is why it's power. It's power because it stabilizes people. It builds loyalty. It creates emotional safety. And it sustains relationships long term. This is why nurturing is power. Why it seems as weakness. And we're going to get into why it seems as weakness and to whom it seems as weakness too. It is seen as weakness. It's quiet, not flashy. It requires vulnerability. It doesn't dominate, it influences. Okay? So, in my mind, nurturing is very, very powerful. Nurturing is very powerful. Okay. There are two sides to nurturing. So this is for the to the guys too, right? There are two sides to nurturing. And just know that it's nurturing is not just for the woman. Nurturing also is for the man. Okay? The two sides of nurturing, the comforting and emotional nurturing, the traditional maternal side, is from the mother. What it builds is emotional security, confidence to express feelings, sense of safety and belonging. And this teaches a child, I am safe, I am loved, right? But then on the other side, for the father, the nurturing side for the father is the structure and guiding. The structure and guiding nurturing, the traditionally paternal side. And what does it build? Discipline, resilience, accountability, understanding boundaries. This teaches a child, I am capable, I must grow. So in a home, in a family, they both matter. The nurturing side of a mother and the nurturing side of the father. A child needs both. A child needs both. They need the softness to feel love, right? And they need the structure to function in the world. And I always say in all of my teaching, especially on the my autism channel, that kids thrive on discipline and structure. So it's not just with love and understanding and softness and care, but you also need to be able to provide structure and discipline. This is also a part of nurture. And this is where it's important to have two parents raising a child, because they need both the softness of the mother's nurturing and then the structure and discipline from the father's side of nurturing. Shouts out to Case and Cam's in the house. Hey, Case and Cam's. Okay. Too much of one without the other will create imbalance. So you do need both. That's why having both parents in the child's life is important. Because we always hear that the mother is supposed to nurture, the woman is supposed to nurture. No. Dads, you are to nurture too, but your nurture is a little bit different. Your nurture is a little bit different from the mother. The mother provides the softness, the feeling of love and emotional confidence and feeling safe. But the father teaches the structure, the discipline, the accountability, understanding boundaries. So when we talk about nurturing, it doesn't mean that you dads are off the hook. You dads have to nurture your children as well. Okay? All right. So the next slide. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. Oh, yes. So, what is being non-nurturing? What is being non-nurturing? And we see it a lot in Donald Trump's internet. We can see a lot of, if you go on TikTok or whatever and just type in bad mother or toxic mother or toxic parenting or parenting, just any type of, you will find a lot of examples of non-nurturing. Okay. A lot. So here are some examples of what it is to be a non-nurturing person. Lack of emotional warmth, emotional coldness or distance. And I did a live stream. If you go to the playlist, the Mommy Dearest playlist, you will find that I did a stream on the cold mother syndrome. It speaks to this, the second point, the emotional coldness and distance. You have a lot of parents that are emotionally distant from their children. They're cold towards their children. And then sometimes you will even have some parents that literally hate me. Well, we saw in the clip, the intro clip, that you have mothers that literally hate being a mother. They wish they never had their kids. Another point is harsh communication or contempt. How many of us experience, some harsh words from parents, seen or have experienced harsh words from parents where parents is putting a child down, verbally abusing them, basically. Lack of attentiveness or care. They just don't care, Just leave the kid out to the pasture. Just hand them a phone. Don't even care what they do all day. Prioritizing self or chaos over connection. We have a lot of parents that are very self-absorbed. It's not about the children. It's all about them. Okay? Children raising themselves emotionally. Just not being there for your kid. Just not being attentive. Not being present for your child. and focus on survival or self over connection. Very self-absorbed, right? So we can definitely see a lot of examples of this, a lot of examples of a non-nurturing person. Let's go to the next one. So let's find out, where does all this begin? What happened that we have 2 or 3 generations of mothers that lack the ability to nurture? What happened? Who dropped the ball is what we're going to talk about. Who dropped the ball, guys? Who dropped the ball? Shouts out to everybody that's coming through. Thank you guys for coming through. I know it's a lot going on right now. Shouts out to you for passing through. Hi, CEO, Case and Cams. Sis is in the house. Hey, sis. If you want the link, just let me know. I'll drop it for you. But who dropped the ball is what we're going to talk about. Because we have an issue out here. We have some non-caring mothers. We have some mothers that are just cold, unattentive, to the point you would think they don't even have a nurturing bone in their body. As my brother he said would say, they can't even nurture a plant, let alone a child. So what happened? Because I know when I was being raised, we were being taught how to nurture and curate and provide a safe haven for your home and your family. So we're going to talk about it. Let's talk about it, guys. So we're going to find out what happened. So chat, is nurturing natural, or does it have to be taught? Put in the chat, put your answers in the chat. Is nurturing natural, or does it have to be taught? Tell me what you guys think. I have a clip for you guys. Let's listen.
Keith, I want you to write this down. I want you to remember this. I said, everything is a learned behavior. Everything is a learned behavior. We don't come out of the womb with the skill sets and the right mindset and the right this. Yes, you could say we're all children of the creator, if you call it God, source, love, universe, Jesus, Buddha, whatever your spiritual path is. We're all divinely created by whatever it is that brought us here. And yes, when you go into personality science, you learn that there is nature and there's nurture. When I became board certified in personality science with DISC, with Codebreaker and so forth, I learned that you do have in your DNA certain characteristics like any creature has, like any human being has. Part of us is nature and part of us is nurture, meaning part of us is predestined before we're born as far as we're going to be more extroverted, more introvert. But another big part is as we're born and we grow up in the household we grew up, we have the right teachers, we have the right mentors, we have a breakthrough, we can then shift our personality. I've had people.
When we talk about nature, we mean everything we're born with, our genetic inheritance. From eye color to certain personality traits, like being more active, more impulsive, or more sensitive. It's what many people call our factory settings. Nurture, on the other hand, refers to the environment we grow up in. The family that cares for us, the experiences we go through, school, friends, culture. Everything that shapes the way we see the world and respond to it. So, what weighs more? What we carry inside from birth, or what we live through afterward? Imagine a seed for a moment. Inside it, there's potential. But that potential may or may not develop depending on where it's planted. If the soil is good, if it has water and sunlight, if it's taken care of, it will grow. If not, it may never bloom. We humans are like that. We're born with a base, but what we experience plays a major role in who we become.
Shouts out to the clip. So, chat, do you think is nurturing something that comes naturally, or does it have to be taught? Is nurturing something that comes naturally, or does it have to be taught? So the natural side is biology and instinct, right? Humans are wired for care, especially towards children, right? Like we see something happen to a little kid, we automatically like, ooh, we on guard, right? Okay, Shizzy said natural. Okay, I respect that. Shizzy says natural. There is a built-in response to protect, comfort, bond. That's part of natural, right? However, the taught side is what's developed, right? So what happens here is modeling an environment enforces what's already in you. Let me say that again. Modeling or teaching in the environment in which you're being raised in enforces what you already have inside you, supposedly. I don't know, because, child, these babies, these women today, baby, I think some people just born evil. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Nurturing is a lifestyle, comes from what you saw when you grew up. Okay. How love was expressed to you. And what was expected and practiced. This is learned behavior. This is learned behavior. Okay. So the honest answer is both. The honest answer is both. There's a natural seed within us. It's like a built-in response, right? But it still has to be cultivated. It still has to be modeled. It still has to be practiced in order for it to grow, just like the clip said. So nurturing is like a muscle. You're born with the ability, but it must develop to be strong and consistent. We are born with the ability to nurture, but is developed to be strong, but it must be developed and be strong and consistent. And it has to, by constantly doing something and being around something will reinforce what you already have in you. So I'm finding many people today have the instinct, but not the training. Many mothers and some dads too, they have the natural instinct of being nurturing, but not the training. Or we're going to get into this part, the desire. Because the clip that I played in the beginning, you heard all these mothers say, I hate being a mom. They have no desire to nurture their children. They hate it. They want nothing to do with it. If they can turn back the hand of time, they would not have any one of them kids. Okay. So you can have the instinct, but if you don't have the desire, whew, it's not gonna work. Okay. So here's the next one. What do you guys think with this question? And while I was doing my research on this, I came across a couple people in my Facebook group when I asked this question. If nurturing, because Shizzy, you said nurturing is natural. If nurturing is natural, why do so many people struggle with it? Shout out to Brooke Ricky. Okay, I'll see you there. Thank you, Zyrex. Yes, I'll be there, Uncle Ricky. Thank you, Zyrex. And Zyrex, if you want to come up, you can. If you want, I'll send you the link. What do you guys think? Because Shizzy said that nurturing is a natural thing. Why do you think so many people, so many mothers struggle with it? Why do you think so many mothers are struggling with it? Because instinct, what is naturally in us, is not the same as discipline. Shouts out to Chizzy. Let's see. They fight it selfish. Are you saying because they're selfish? I agree. I agree. Shouts out to Uncle Ricky for the next money. Thank you, Uncle Ricky. So here's the breakdown. Why they struggle. Nurturing is a natural in feeling, but difficult in practice. Why some mothers struggle with it? From stress or burnout, lack of good examples growing up, emotional wounds and trauma. And here is what I think is the problem today, especially with the young mothers. Let me put this on a thingy. Sorry about that, y'all. This is what mothers struggle with today. Overstimulation of the social media and life's pressure. I'm seeing more and more mothers are being so distracted with the social media life, the reality life, that they literally are forgetting to, in some cases, literally care for their children, care for their home, care for their husbands. Overstimulation and distractions is why a lot of them are struggling. Now, Uncle Ricky says, ooh-wee, let me put this thing on. I'm sorry, y'all. Put this thing on. Forgot to put it on. The instinct isn't expression. I got you. The instinct isn't expression. What you mean by that, Uncle Ricky? So the next question is, and we're going to get more into it. Chat. Is nurturing a responsibility or a personal choice? Is being nurturing to your family, to your children, to your husband, is it a responsibility or personal choice? Is it a responsibility or personal choice? Is the question. I got questions. What y'all think? See what Africa says. Having the capacity to do something doesn't mean you can, knowing how to put that in action. I agree. Zyrox says responsibility if you want a healthy environment. Okay. Uncle Ricky says both. Okay. So in the relationships and motherhood, it becomes a responsibility. Because who gonna do it? You had the baby. It's your responsibility. You carried this baby for 9 months. You pushed it out. It's mama's baby. It becomes a responsibility. Here's the breakdown. As an individual, it is a choice. When you're by yourself, it's a choice. When it's just you and nobody else, it's a choice. But as a partner, as a wife, as a mother, it's a role responsibility. Now, you can choose not to nurture, but you can't expect, like what Zyrex says, a healthy relationship and a stable home without it. Do y'all agree? Yep, you just said that, Zyrex. So is nurturing a responsibility or a choice? As an individual, it is a choice. As a mother and a partner, it becomes your responsibility. Can't get around it. Unless you want to be called a deadbeat. Can't get around it. So let's get into it, y'all. Now, you know we got to talk about the blame game, y'all. You know we got to talk about the blame game, y'all. Ladies and gents. And we see this all the time. We see how the mothers are moving in this climate in today's day and time. Can you blame women for not nurturing if nobody nurtured them? That is the question. Can you blame women for not nurturing her family and kids if nobody nurtured them? As sisters say, can we shame them for not nurturing and caring for their kids? Because nobody nurtured them. What do you guys think? Can we blame the women for not nurturing because nobody nurtured them? You can, I say, this is what I came up with, guys. I say you can explain it, but you can't excuse it forever. And I've been saying this too on a couple of conversations I had on these panels and things. I was like, how long can we use the excuse, nobody taught me? How long can you use the excuse, nobody taught me? When women saying, I don't, when they talk about the cooking and cleaning, but nobody never taught me, right? How long can you use that excuse? And for me, it's my opinion, I can use that same analogy here. How long are you going to use it as an excuse? You can't excuse it forever. Why it makes sense? If a woman never saw a healthy love, never experienced consistent care, and grew up in survival environments, yes, you can explain it of why you are this way. Because then nurturing won't come to you naturally in a consistent way, right? Because you never saw it, you never been around it, you don't know what it feels like. So you can't easily give what you never had, never received, right? So we can explain it, but we can't use it as an excuse forever. Are you forever going to use it as a crutch? Are you forever going to do that? But here's the hard line. At some point, explanation has to turn into responsibility. When are you going to take responsibility? You know what you need to do. You know what you need to learn in order to curate and nurture your family. When are you going to stop using it as an excuse? Because as adults, we have the access to learn. Shouts out to YouTube University. And you know what the problem is. You know what you have to learn. So awareness creates a choice, right? And growth becomes a personal decision. So the truth is, it's not her fault that she was raised that way, but it is her responsibility on how she evolves. It's not your fault how you were raised, but it's your responsibility of how you evolve. Okay? That's just my opinion. What y'all say in the chat? Let's see. Lady Zara says, yes, if you're a grown adult. Okay. Okay, Ricky says, you can use it as long as it just affects you individually. Okay. And then Zara says, this is why not the shadow work, Lord have mercy. Oh no, Zyrex, you going to the divine feminines. Zyrex says, my parents ain't never hugged me, ain't never said I love you because it was never done to them. Asians. Hey, not just Asians, look. That happens in a lot of families. I know what it did to me, and I ain't going to have my kids feel and exactly. So to Uncle Reed's point, he was saying if individually, yeah, you can use that as an excuse, but once you bring the little one into your life, once you bring that man into your life, hey, do you want them to feel the same way? Do you want them to feel the same way? You know how you felt, right? Do you want him to be? Do you want the same outcomes? So then that should produce a change, right? I mean, in my mind, it would. All right. Who was responsible for teaching nurturing? Let's get to the nitty gritties. Chat. Who was responsible for teaching these women that hate motherhood, that hate the kids, that don't know how to nurture their home, don't know how to curate their home? Who was responsible for teaching nurturing? Who was responsible for teaching nurturing? What do you guys think? So, traditionally, nurturing was passed down through mother to daughter, grandmother to family culture, community equals reinforcement, and society is expectation and honor. That's how it was. Mother, daughters, grandmothers, the family, the village, the community, all these things back in my day taught you how to nurture and curate your home, how to nurture your family, how to care for your children. We had the village. We had the village. A lot of the things that I do with my family, I learned it from my mama and my grandmama and, my village. The women at the motherboard at the church. I mean, my surroundings. Shout out to the brother in the house. You were taught emotional regulation, communication, patience, conflict resolution, and consistency. So, do you guys think with today's mothers and the problems that we were having with motherhood, did nurturing stop being taught intentionally? Nurturing stopped being intentionally taught. Do y'all think that it was stopped intentionally being taught? It became assumed, or it's optional, or even rejected. That's what I think. Brother, Uncle Ricky. Yes, intentionally. Yes. Yes. You have some mothers that intentionally don't pass down things that their daughters should know, because what do we talk about sometimes? The mother-daughter dynamics is crazy now. The mothers are competing with the daughters. The mothers are jealous of the daughters. The mothers are sabotaging the daughters' lives because they don't want them to be better than them. Intentionally, yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, intentionally. Intentionally. But check this out. Mothers supposed to be the first teachers. Shouts out to Miss She Said and Brother. Say it all the time. Promote conscious parenting. Mothers were supposed to be our first teacher. Shouts out to Rosie in the house. So someone in the group chat said what happened was they stopped teaching nurturing and they started teaching survival. That's what they saying out here in these streets. That's what they saying out in these streets. So let's get into it. Because we need to find out what happened. We need to find out why Granny and great grandma and mama did not teach these ladies, these young mothers, about nurturing their children and their husbands and curating their household. We need to find out what happened. Who dropped the ball? Who dropped the ball, guys? Was it the grannies? Was it the mothers? Or is it the daughters just being rebellious? What do y'all think? Who dropped the ball? Who dropped the ball? Who dropped the ball? What do y'all think? Let's get into it. Grannies, grandmamas. Now, I don't know what my granny child. I learned a lot from my grandma. I don't know about you guys, but I learned a lot of my homemaking skills, my cooking skills came from my granny. Came from my granny. It came from my granny. So let's find out what happened with the grandma. So grandmothers and great grandmothers were the foundation, right? They were the foundation. So let's find out what happened. So what defines this generation? The great grandmas and the grandmas. So back then, you had a stronger family structure. Can y'all agree to that? Back then, in that era, they had a stronger family structure. Back then, there were clear gender roles. All right, got a thumbs up from Uncle Ricky, got a yes from Zyrex. There were clear gender roles. Everybody knew what they were supposed to do, right? And then, guess what we had back then? We had the village. You had community support. I remember when I had Mr. Caleb, child, for weeks, grandma, auntie, mama, everybody was over there taking care of me and the baby. Child, okay. they were all in my stuff, binding my stomach up, making sure this, making sure that, making sure I had the nipple in his mouth right. I mean, they were all in my business. Don't hold that baby like that. I mean, look, hey, that was the village. That was the women coming together. When I had my son, the women in my family, the women in my community, they come together and they literally hands-on teaching you how to care for this baby. That's what it was back then. You had a community, you had a family. And here's something very, very important. Nurturing was expected. Now, don't get hung up on that expected. I want you to listen to this. And honored. Back then in grandma's era, being able to nurture your family, your husband, your children, your community, curate a home, create an environment for your family, safe environment, was an honor. It was an honor. What did they pass down? How to care for your home, how to support your husband, how to raise your children with structure and warmth, emotional endurance and sacrifice. This was grandma's era. So what happened, guys? What happened? What got lost? What got lost? What happened? What do you guys think? What happened that made this big shift to non-caring, non-attentive, non-nurturing mothers and wives? Back then, nurturing was not a choice, it was a core identity. Oh my God. That was like a badge of honor, y'all. Ooh wee. And literally today, I wear that as a badge of honor to say, ooh, I nurture and care for my child in a major way, where I get kudos from strangers how well I have raised Mr. Caleb. I get asked questions, how you do this and how you did, because I wear it as a badge of honor. It's a badge of honor, but not today's time. Woo! Not in today's time. A lot of women see it as a weakness. We're going to get into it. All right, let's get to the mother. So we talked about the foundational era, which is the grandma era. Let's talk about the transition era. Let's talk about the transition era. Shouts out to all my feminists. Shouts out to all the feminists out there. The transition era. Who dropped the ball? What changed, ladies and gents? The transition era. Women entered the workforce in large numbers. These are the mamas. Divorce rates increased. Single motherhood rose. Economic pressure requires dual roles, right? So what did the mamas pass down? Independence, survival skills, and don't rely on anyone mindset. You see the difference from what was passed down from the foundation? Shouts out to the foundation era. Woohoo! But the transition era, woo, they passed down, shouts out to the feminists, independence, survival skills, and don't rely on anyone mindset. This is what they taught the daughters. And so we are seeing the effects of the transition era. They taught daughters how to stand alone, not always how to build together. Nurturing didn't disappear, it became inconsistent. Shouts out to Sarah. Sarah says we value individuality and independence more than. Yes, yes. Hey, Zyrax, you preaching, girl. So that's what happened. So the foundation era. Let me slip back real quick. Let's look at the foundation era. The foundation era, my era I came from. What did they pass down? How to care for your home, how to support your husband, how to raise your children. But then we get to the transition era. All they taught was independent survival skills and don't rely on anybody. Shouts out to the feminists. And so now we are seeing the effects of that transition era. That is what they taught their daughters. Also now that's what we're seeing in the clip, the first clip that we played, where mothers are online saying they hate their children, they hate being a mother, they can't take it. Oh my God, I wish ooh. That is the effects. Welcome to the modern era. The daughters. Welcome to the modern era. The daughters. Let's see what the daughters are up to. What defines this generation of mothers? Social media influence. I mean, we see it. I mean, it's self-explanatory, y'all. Emphasis on independence and self-focus. I have never seen such selfish mamas and daddies in my life. It is all about them. They can pop the baby out and don't even care, baby. This is like the most selfish, rebellious generations of people I've ever seen in my life. The modern era delayed marriage and family. And here's a big one, y'all. Shouts out to the divine feminines. Exposure to multiple conflicting ideologies. They are going from one fad to the next. No stability. So what shows up now? Confusion about the roles. Nobody know what they're supposed to be doing. We equal. I'm wearing the pants too. Guarded emotional behavior. Desire for love but fear of vulnerability. And inconsistent nurturing patterns. Have y'all seen? I was trying to find some videos. I had them in my jump drive, but there's this thing, and ladies, if y'all listen, there's this thing where the mothers will be loving and attentive while the baby is a baby, nurturing while the baby is a baby. But once that baby gets 1 or 2 or starts walking, starts talking, then their whole temperament towards that child changes. The emotional connection, the care for that child changes. The inconsistent nurturing patterns. That's what we got now. They love it when the baby is a baby. Like they hold it, oh, it's so cute. I'm gonna dress it up and I love my baby and all this. But as soon as that child reaches a certain age, they don't want nothing to do with these babies. They want nothing to do with these babies. My mouse is acting up. I don't know why this mouse be doing this on here. Child. Y'all know what I'm talking about? I mean, I know y'all seen it, child, because I know they just be doing the most. So we have a modern era. We have some women that are trying to rebuild the nurturing right. And then you have others, the majority, are rejecting it altogether. I don't need to do all that. What am I going to get out of it? If it's not benefiting me, why should I care? Why should I care? This is the mindset of them, right? So let's go. Let's talk about it. The breakdown of the family structure and the collapse of the village, because this is some of the problems that we're having. Because as we saw in the Foundation era, that the family structure was stronger back then, and we had a village. The women were teaching the women how to be mothers and wives. We no longer have that. We no longer have that anymore. Zara says strong-willed children are usually the neglected ones. Exactly. Yes. Yes. So let's get into the village breakdown and the family structure. All right. So the breakdown of the family structure and the collapse of the village. I mean, pretty much self-explanatory, y'all. We know what it takes, right? You got fewer two-parent households, right? Less exposure to balanced roles. Nobody know what they're supposed to be doing these days. Children are raised without seeing cooperation, healthy affection, and functional nurturing dynamics. That's the breakdown of the family structure. So what happened to the village? Like Zarek said in the comments, the multi-generational households, there are fewer theirs. There are no longer, grandmas and great grandmas around in the family to kind of guide the mamas. Less support from other women. Shouts out to the sisterhood. Y'all support everything else. Y'all go twerking and drinking some Henny and Plan Bs and taking Plan Bs. Y'all don't support that. And more mothers are feeling like they're in isolation. And if you go back to the clip that I played in the beginning of the show, that was one of the complaints that a lot of the women had. They have no village. You have no village. You have no tribe. Data shows a dramatic decline in extended female support system in households. I will drop the link to where I got the information from. Women are not supporting it. And a brother did a show on the baby showers and gender reveals, right? People come to party and eat, right? But nobody's sharing information to their mother. None of the women are sharing mother advice to that mother. It's all about, I'm going to get my drink on and my party on at this baby shower and this gender reveal. That's not how it was supposed to be. A baby shower is where the women came together. Yes, they exchanged gifts and gifts, but the bulk of it was supposed to be for giving this new mama information, guidance, support, encouragement. But now, what do we see? It's just become a party. It's no longer about giving out information and advice to the mother. It's about what I can get on this plate, how many drinks I can get, and let's play these games. This is why the mothers, especially the ones that I showed in the clip, that's why they feel the way they do. They don't have a village. They have no guidance whatsoever. But we're going to talk about how to get it back, though. Okay? Come on, Melcy. Let's talk about it, y'all. We can't just skim over it. because we are in the Donald Trump internet age. Okay. We are in the Donald Trump internet age. We got to talk about the effects of the culture and social media influence over mothering. And it is so sad that we have to talk about this. It is so sad that that's even a thing. That outside forces it's really affecting the way women are raising their children. So let's get into it. My mouse, Lord have mercy. Come on, mousey. Shouts out to Trin in the house. Hey, Trin. So culture and social media influence. How many think that the culture now and social media have a lot of influence on how women are parenting their children today? Do y'all believe that social media and the culture now is what's influencing these bad parenting, the issues with the mothers today? Shouts out to Trent. Thank you, Trent. Sarah said it's about what you got from the party. Yes, aka materialistic and not about passing knowledge on or how successful you are in your family. Exactly. And so a lot of these mothers, young mothers, are going into motherhood blind. Like in the clip that I played in the beginning, where the young lady was like, I didn't know it was gonna be like this. I didn't know it was gonna be this hard. I didn't know it was gonna be this. I didn't know that. And see, that's where the village came in. That's where the mother and grandmother are supposed to pass down this information. Like, you're going to have some days where you're going to be quite tired. You're going to have some days you're going to be exhausted. And here is how you handle that. Here is how you handle adversities. Here is how you handle problems while still caring and nurturing for your family. But instead, girl, what you get? Open up the presents. You got seafood boil? Exactly. Shouts out to John. Thank you for the flowers, we are. Thank you, 1,000 watts. Thank you. Zara said it's like buying Kevin Klein diapers. Right. Thank you. Okay. Like, what are we doing? So now these mothers are going into now when they got the kids, now they're crying, talking about they hate motherhood. Nobody ain't tell me it's gonna be like this. Nobody didn't tell me. I blame the mamas. I blame the mamas and I blame the grandmas. Because you did not prepare these young mothers how to be mothers. You didn't prepare them for motherhood. I think when we're talking about the nature versus nurture, I think a lot of people think that because it's supposed to be some natural instinct in us, but as we learn that if you don't develop that and be consistent at it, it ain't gonna be there. Okay. So let's see what the culture and the social media influence going on. Performance over authenticity. I can't authenticity. I got tongue tied, y'all. You're in the own country, okay? What changed? Life became something to perform, not just live. I know y'all gonna laugh at me because I messed that word up, y'all, but it's okay. I'm intelligent. I went to school. Life became something to perform, not just live. The impact on nurturing is the focus shift from how does my home feel to how does my life look? Do y'all understand what that means? How does my home feel to how does my life look? Let me get this picture for the gram. Make sure we get the island, the big island. Make sure you get the big picture island, you know. You can have a big, beautiful home, right? But does it feel like a home? Is there any love in that home? How does my home feel? So let's go to the next one. The comparison culture. The comparison culture. The exposure to better relationships, better lifestyles, better men. You looking through the gram, you're going through your friends page, and you are constantly seeing something where you are being jealous or envious of. So what happens is, instead of you nurturing what you have, you start questioning what you want, what you should have had. Well, if she has that car, why can't I have that car? But if she has a bigger house, why can't we get a bigger house? So you start to compare your life with other people's lives, and that creates this chaos and contentment in your household with your husband and your children, because you're constantly looking and comparing yourself to what you see on the internet. You're constantly comparing your life to what you see on the internet. Nothing is never going to be good enough for you because you are constantly comparing your life to what you see on Donald Trump's internet. Sarah says, Red, why do you think women in general care so much about what others think and have than men do? So it's the need to, how can I say it without getting into my lesson that I'm going to do next week? It's sort of like how you were in the we can go back like to in the Garden of Eden, right? You see how easily Eve was tempted, right? It's like we're women are easily persuaded. We're easily persuaded. We're gullible. Anything shiny, ooh-wee, shiny thing. Shouts out the trend. And hypergamy, yes. That's why. And I don't know who said it. I don't know if it was Uncle Ricky or somebody on the panel was like, it's like nothing's never good enough. It's like the need to have more. You have to have more. You're not satisfied with what you have. You have to have more. My mama used to say, don't have a long eye. I don't know if y'all would understand what that means. Don't have a long eye. Appreciate what you got. I hope they answer your question. Anybody else got an answer for Zyrax? Zyrax says, anybody in the chat, answer Zyrax's question. Why do you think women in general care about what others think? What do you got? Guys think? Y'all can answer Cyrex in the chat. So the next one is relationship instability becomes normalized. Relationships become instability. Relationship instability become normalized because we see it all the time in social media. We see the viral clips of breakups, cheating, loving up after leaving, after divorce. Divorce parties. All those things of dysfunction is being celebrated, and because people are so gullible and feeble-minded, right? They're not leaders. They follow anything. They normalize it and they glamorize it. Nurturing requires stability, peace, and long-term investment. Social media promotes fast exits, short attention spans, and other options. I got options. I don't care. I can find another you. I got options, baby. I don't have to love you when I'm done with you. I got options, baby. Okay, I got options. Zara says, "Do you think it's innate or biological or survival?" I actually think it's biological. I actually think it's just something that's in us. And I think, like Uncle Ricky would say, some of us have it worse than others because, like Uncle Ricky would always say, we have to fight our nature. I think it's in our nature to do that. I really do. I don't think survival, it has nothing to do with that. Being content and satisfied with what you have has nothing to do with survival. That's being greedy. That's what that is. Yeah, that's what that is. That's why I love it when Uncle Ricky says, he was like, good women, good mothers, good wives fight against their nature. Because we all have it in us, unfortunately. Then we have the overstimulation, okay? The endless content equals constant mental noise, drama, arguments, hot takes 24/7. We see that the generation that we have now, everybody is really focused on the internet. It's like they don't even read books anymore. It's like it's on TikTok, what's on Instagram, what's on the YouTube, and they'll follow people's lives on the internet. Emotionally overstimulated. You emotionally overstimulated with crazy behaviors. When do you have time to be nurturing something? Emotional overstimulation creates short patience, reactive behavior, and let's be real, you can't nurture peacefully when your mind is constantly overstimulated. Because what did we say is one of the components of nurturing? Is peace. How can you have peace if you're constantly consuming chaos? If you're constantly consuming drama and chaos, how are you going to produce peace? Does that make sense? How are you going to produce peace? You can't. Because what's in you is going to come out of you. What's in you is going to come out of you. If you are always consuming junk, foolishness, foolery, drama, chaos, that's what's going to come out of you. Let's talk about reality TV. Reality TV, right? Reality TV created hyper individualism and the boss energy. We see it on what's those shows? I don't watch those things. Real Housewives and all that kind of stuff. I don't need anyone. I come first always. Cut people off quickly. I'm a boss, babe. F them kids. I don't need a man. Okay, that's what they be saying. That's what they be saying. Then disrespect became empowerment. Now that's crazy, y'all. Disrespect have become empowerment. Y'all, I know some of y'all watch them shows. Disrespect has become empowerment. Talking down to your partner, public embarrassment. Aggression is labeled as strength. Women that are cantankerous and aggressive is being labeled as, I'm a strong black woman. In Zara's case, I'm a strong Asian woman. Shouts out to Zaza. Being a cantankerous gutter snipe does not make you a strong black woman. It makes you a hyena. It makes you insufferable. I won't be around you. Don't nobody want to be around you. Not even your kids want to be around you when you like that. And shouts out to Zarex. Materialism over homemaking. Success equals money, looks, and lifestyle in today's social media era. Success equals money, looks, and lifestyle. It is no longer looked as a badge of honor to have a successful family, wonderful kids. Kids are growing up wonderfully, a loving marriage, a beautiful home, curating home, growing a garden. That stuff is looked at as weak in slavery. But success now, to most women, shouts out to the feminists, success, hair, makeup, wigs, lifestyle is what's popping. That's what they want. It's not a stable home. It's not a strong family. It's not emotional depth. It's all about money, looks, and lifestyle. That's what it's about right now. That's what it's about. So nurturing became invisible, uncelebrated, and undervalued in this era. It's all about the materialism. So what is the combined effect? When you mix social media, reality TV, you get a culture that promotes attention over connection. Oh my Lord. Attention whores. Do anything for attention. Do anything for the clicks. Do anything for the views. Do anything. Attention whores. No matter if you're mistreating your children, no matter if you're mistreating your husband, putting your kids on the internet, doing all kinds of things, abusing your kids, exploiting your kids, doing God knows what to your husband, disrespecting your husband, just creating chaos, all for attention. All for attention. Thank you, Cyrus. It promotes independence over interdependence, image over substance, and reaction over reflection. This is what you get now. This is what we have now. We almost done, guys. This is what we have now. So, shouts out to my feminists. The question is, did feminism change nurturing? That is the question. Did feminism change nurturing? Let's find out. But first, feminism at its core, it originally was women wanted legal rights. That's the first week, right? Protection from abuse and access to education, work, and ownership. That's what it originally was. That's what it started out as, y'all. That's what it started out as. But then, it changed. It changed. So the first wave, they were focused on voters' rights, property rights, and no attack on nurturing, no attack on the family, right? Shouts out to Misty. Hey, Misty Blues in house. Then you had a second wave, right? Women entered the workforce in mass, and they pushed for independence from men. And scholars say this is where the shift began, when the second wave of feminism came rolling through. Because home equals limitation and career equals liberation. Let's say that again. Home equals limitation and careers equals liberation. So let's go to the third and fourth wave. What happened, Red? What happened? The third and fourth wave focus on identity, autonomy, my body, my choice, slut walks and stuff, self-expression, and rejection of traditional gender roles. Shouts out to the feminists. So what do we get now? What do we have now? I don't need a man. You don't have to serve anyone. Put yourself first. And what is so sad about that is that women will have children and they will say, I don't serve you. To their children. Put me first in front of the children. Baby that you carried for 9-10 months. You pushed out or got cut out or whatever. Selfish. When your values shift, your behavior will follow. When your values shift, your behavior will follow. And this is what happened. This is what happened. Let's get into a little bit more. So what is the real impact, Red? What is the real impact that feminism did to motherhood? Nurturing became undervalued. Traditional roles started being seen as oppressive. We hear it all the time. I ain't no slave. Ain't no slave. I'm not a slave. You don't got me cooking, no cleaning, nothing. And weak. Nurturing became undervalued. It became seen as oppressive and weak. Masculine versus feminine energy confusion. That's a big one, y'all. Ooh-wee. The competition replaces cooperation. Independence replaces interdependence. You can't build a soft, nurturing home with the mindset trained for survival and competition. Let me say that again. You can't build a soft and nurturing home with the mindset trained on survival and competition. Then, the double burden trap. Feminism said, go work like a man. You can have the same jobs like a man. But life still expects care like a mother. So what's the result? Burnout, emotionally exhausted, and resentment. And if you go back to the beginning of the show, that clip that I played showed a lot of mothers holding resentment towards the children that they gave birth to. They hold resentment towards the children that they gave birth to. Because you fell for the double trap. You fell for the double trap. Relationship power shift, right? Less reliance on men and more focus on self-fulfillment. I'm in my divine feminine era, okay? The man's supposed to worship me, baby, okay? That's what they say. Relationship power shift. That sounds good until relationships become optional, commitment becomes weakened, and family structure shifts. This is what happens. This is the impact of the third and fourth wave of feminism. I know I got a lot of feminists going like, no, it ain't. Okay. Maybe you need to take a look outside and actually analyze what's really going on in the household with these moms. I played a whole 8-minute clip of these mothers that are feeling the effects. 8 minutes. 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 8 minutes When the values shift, behavior follows. When the values shift, behavior follows. Then society removes the value system. Hey, when the values shift, behavior follows. And then we just said that, right? Nurturing is rarely celebrated today. Do you not know people will actually like do like, oh, if a woman is online and she's showing, you know, her home, how she's cooking and cleaning and caring for her children, they actually will, if you go in the comments, you'll have some hyena in the comments saying something negative to a woman showing some positive things of how she's nurturing and caring for her family, curating her home. It's actually being looked down upon instead of celebrated. Career and independence are prioritized, and nurturing used to be honored. Remember, we talked about the foundation era where nurturing and caring for your family and creating a safe space in your home was honored. Is no longer honored anymore. Now it's often seen as you're being basic, undervalued, or even rejected. That is the effects. So people would say, oh no, it didn't. Yeah, it did. A big effect on how mothers are going into motherhood. When you remove the values, those values are gone, the dysfunctional behavior will follow. That is what's going to follow, guys. So, and the next one is modern motherhood includes competing identities. You want to be a career woman, you want to be an independent woman, you want to be a happy woman, you want to be a high achieving woman. But the result is nurturing is no longer a priority. It's just one of many competing roles. And then you want to complain when you're burnt out. I'm just saying. What's next? So, what feminism did not do, it didn't force women to stop nurturing, guys. It didn't force them to. It didn't remove the maternal instinct. But however, it changed what women valued, changed what society rewards, and it changed how roles are defined. That's what it did do. So, having said that, so now I'm in the fussing, okay? So now I'm going to tell you, before we get out of here, what nurturing your family actually looks like. What does it actually look like? This is what we're going to talk about now. I know I fuss at y'all now. I know fuss. What nurturing your children actually looks like. I have a clip for you guys. I'm going to play it real quick because we almost done, guys. Here we go.
Did you know that according to Peter Walker's Complex PTSD, there are 4 ways of nurturing a child? So whether you are raising and parenting your child or raising and reparenting your inner child, I bet this is going to help you. Look, these 4 ways are verbal nurturing, emotional nurturing, spiritual nurturing, and physical nurturing. So these things go way above the basic needs, like putting a roof over their head or feeding them meals and so forth, making sure that they're educated. So the very first one, that verbal nurturing, my take on that one is because we are verbal communicators as humans, we need to hear someone telling us, I am so glad you were born. The world is so much better with you in it. Man, when you grow up, you're gonna move mountains. Look how gorgeous you are, or look how handsome you are, or look what a strong person you are becoming, look what a hard worker you are, and so forth. Whatever is appropriate and right for you and your family system is exactly what your children or your inner children need to hear. The other three, obviously, emotional nurturing is all about validating emotions and making sure that the child knows that, hey, these strong emotions, you're a strong person. You're going to feel strong emotions. Emotions are perfectly fine. Spiritual nurturing is all about making sure that the kid is connected to their creator, to the nature, whatever that spiritual environment is that you, as the leader of your family, are promoting. Even if it's a family of one, you are still the leader of the family. And physical nurturing, obviously, we've got to make sure that the kid is moving their body, excelling at certain physical things that they're into, and so forth. So I have a challenge for you. I have created a handout for you to just download and dive into your compassion statement. This is where it all starts. I've created mine, and I am religiously, consistently, on a daily basis saying those things to myself, because when I say certain things, and you're going to read my entire compassion statement. When I say those things to myself, I feel really good. I feel like somebody gives a damn, and I really want you to do the same thing, because I imagine if you were to craft your own compassion statement coming from that verbal nurturance and repeated that to yourself on a daily basis. Imagine what your life could be in 3 months from now only. So go ahead and download it and share with me what you have come up with, if you're willing.
All right, what a nurturing a child looks like, guys. And shouts out to the lady we get there. Okay. Emotional safety. Your child feels safe. Your child feels safe to express emotions, make mistakes, and be themselves. A child should never feel like your love is conditional. Emotional safety. Guidance and structure. Not just love, but giving direction. Teaching them how to function in the world is a part of nurturing. Nurturing is not just comfort, it's also correction. Nurturing is not just comfort, it's also correction. Okay? Teaching emotional intelligence is a part of nurturing. Teaching emotional intelligence is a part of nurturing. Helping them understand themselves, teaching them self-control, and modeling calm behavior. Presence, not just providing, which is very important. And I hear a lot of mothers say, if I provide food, clothes, and shelter, that's all you need. You don't need nothing else. That's all you need. But being mentally and emotionally there for your children is very, very important. Kids don't measure love by money, they measure it by attention. Let me say that again. Children, kids, they don't measure love by money, what you include food, clothes, and shelter. They measure by the attention you give them, the time you spend with them. That's how they measure it. It's your presence. That is a part of nurturing your children. And that is one of the things that a lot of young mothers today have a problem with, being present. Why? Because they're so distracted. by other things, by themselves, by boyfriends or whatever, or social media, trying to get attention from others. They're providing for their child, but they're not present for their child. Let's say that again. They're providing for their child, but they're not present for their child. Protection. Protection, guarding what affects your child. What does that look like? Monitoring their influences and setting boundaries. Monitoring their influences and setting boundaries. Do you know who your child's friends are? Do you know what they're watching on their computers and tablets? Do you know who they're spending time with? I am so tired of hearing when something happens to their child. I didn't know. Man, you didn't know your son was downstairs in the basement building a whole barn in your house. Wait a minute, what's going on? How you not know that? Protection is love in action. Sometimes they may not like it when you set boundaries, right? Sometimes they may not like it when you get in their business. But when they get older, they're gonna see, yeah, mommy and daddy was protecting me. Shouts out to them. Now I understand. Trust me. I've said that many a times. Like now, oh man, now I know why daddy said that. Now I know why mama said that. Everything comes full circle. Consistency, predictable love, showing up the same way regularly. Inconsistent love creates anxious children. You're going to create anxiety in your kids, okay? Stop doing it. And affirmations and identity building, helping them know who they are through encouragement, positive reinforcement, and speaking life into them. Stop cursing your children. Let me say that again. Stop cursing your children. I'm not talking about saying curse words as in F you and all that. I'm talking about literal curses on your children. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. If you constantly tell your child you are dumb, you're stupid, you'll never be nothing. Since they were little, guess what you have embedded in that child? Bueller, shouts out to Messi. Bueller, guess what you have embedded in that child? Not only have you embedded that in your child, you literally put a curse upon your child. Stop cursing your children. You're supposed to be speaking life into your children. Stop cursing your children. And then you wonder why they're growing up to be ooh-wee. Stop cursing your children, guys. The voice they hear at home becomes the inner voice later. Let's say that again. The voice they hear at home becomes the inner voice later. Mama said I was always stupid. Mama said I was always ugly. Mama said I would never be nothing. Oh well, I might as well be nothing. Stop cursing your children. Stop cursing your children. I don't even know how much I can say that. I'm very passionate about that part. We don't know the damage you're doing with your mouths. Your tongue is very powerful. Your tongue is very powerful, y'all. It either heal or kill. It can either heal or kill. That's how powerful your tongue is. Shouts out to Trent. Thank you, Trent. Zyra says, and it's so hard to break out of the negative interval. Yes. Why do you think these people are like having all kinds of breakdowns when they get older? They got to go to therapy and mother wounds and father wounds. Where do you think all this stuff come from? You having mental breakdowns and carrying on? Where do you think it comes from? Stop cursing your children, people. Stop doing it. Okay? Stop doing it. Now, we talked about the children. How many know that nurturing doesn't just stop at your children? How many know nurturing doesn't just stop at your children? What nurturing your husband looks like? Cyrax, Misty, what does nurturing your husband look like? Ooh-wee. Because, we got some selfish women out here. They just think the man supposed to do it, but then, you're supposed to nurture your husband too, not just the children. The show is about motherhood and family. You are nurturing your children and your husband too. So let's find out what nurturing your husband actually looks like. Here's a big one. Respect that feeds his identity. Speak to him with dignity, not tearing him down publicly or privately. Trusting his role and decisions. And a lot of women have a big problem with that view, okay? Big problem. A man can survive without praise, but he thrives on respect. Gentlemen, am I right? Am I right about that, gentlemen? Men, am I right about that? A man can survive without being praised, but he thrives on respect. Support his mission, understanding what he's building, be aligned, not constantly resisting, offering input. I didn't say you can't be saying nothing. Offering input without trying to control. That's a big difference, okay? Offer input without trying to control. Supporting his mission is you're not behind him, you are with him. I support you, baby. Whatever you want to be. I am here. I am your help. I support you. That is a part of nurturing your husband. Emotional support without competition. Letting him be human, being a safe place, encouraging him, not competing with him. And you know what? As I was doing my research on this, competing has become it's in a competition. It's like a theme here in this. It's like women just love. It's like you want to compete with the man so badly, and even throughout this whole presentation, you can see how many times we talked about competition. If he can't be weak with you, he'll stop being open with you. Ladies, if he can't be weak with you, he'll stop being open with you. Intimacy that connects, not control. Ooh-wee. Y'all know, hey, look, okay. Physical affection that's genuine, not transactional. Emotional closeness not withholding as punishment. Y'all, hey, you know how they look. We only gotta get into it, okay? Because I'm trying to get out of it. You only gotta get into it. You know how it goes when women be using the coochie as punishment. Be using the. Intimacy is the glue, not leverage. Okay? Don't be trying to, blackmail a man with coochie. That's not being nurturing, okay? That's that's not being nurturing. Attention to the small things, remembering what he likes, small acts of care that say, I see you. Men like that too, guys. Men like that too. Nurturing lives in the little things, consistent things, not grand gestures. Sometimes it's in the smallest thing that people appreciate more. And creating peace and not tension, baby. Say, hey, whew. Not every moment needs conflict or correction. You don't have to argue and nag every day. Choosing timing and tone wisely. Knowing when to speak and when to be soft. Knowing when to speak and when to shut up. Okay. This is all about nurturing your husband. The home should feel like a refuge, a place of peace and tranquility, not a battlefield. When he gets off from work, he should be rushing home just to get to you, get home to his family. Because when he gets home, he is a place of peace where he can just relax and lay down all the troubles of the day. Not him walking to another battlefield. Like old. Yeah, have you ever heard when the guys be like they sitting in the they gotta sit in the car before they go into the house? Because they know it's a battlefield about to go. I'm leaving one battlefield from the job and gotta go right back into another one. Creating peace is a part of nurturing your husband, guys. Okay. Now let's talk about protection, because we saw protection a couple of times. What protecting your husband and family looks like. What does protecting your family and husband looks like? Because we always say, we hear that a man's supposed to protect and provide, but do you not know that you as the woman, as the wife, as the mother is supposed to protect as well? You are supposed to protect their mind and their peace. Protecting their mind and their peace. The world is already heavy on a man. A home should not feel like another battlefield. Protecting their image and reputation, ladies. Protecting their image and their reputation, ladies. You are supposed to be a reflection of your husband. You are supposed to be a reflection of your family. So how you present yourself to the world is a reflection of him, the image of him, the image of your children. Keep that in mind. A woman can build a man up in a room and in quietly tears him down in a few words. If you are tearing your husband down in public or in private with your girlfriends, that is not protecting his image and reputation. You are literally tearing it down. And how you show up is also protecting his image and reputation. So if you coming out here and acting a fool and acting out like how we seeing these so-called wives on these panels acting a donkey, They're not protecting their husband's image or reputation. They're literally destroying it because you look stupid. And you looking stupid, he looking stupid. Because now the men are looking at him like, what? This how you roll with your wife? Your children? This is also a part of nurturing. It's protection. Protecting the emotional safety of the relationship. Protecting the emotional safety of the relationship. If a man feels unsafe emotionally, he shuts down. Trend, am I right? If a man feels unsafe emotionally, he shuts down. Protecting the bond, loyalty, and boundaries. Not every opinion deserves access to your marriage. Ooh-wee. Not every opinion deserve access to your marriage. And this is we kind of talk about that on Wednesday night when we were talking about married couples on the panels. Not every opinion deserves access to your marriage, to your family. This is what protection looks like, ladies. Stop telling on your business. What's going on in your household? What your husband like in bed and all that kind of stuff to them hyenas. What's wrong with y'all when y'all be doing it? Y'all crazy. But anyway, that's a whole nother conversation, child. Y'all be doing the weird thing, man. And then you would wonder why your so-called girlfriend be trying to sleep with your husband. But anyway, protecting the environment of the home. Protecting the environment of the home. A home is either a place of restoration or a place of stress. You gotta protect it. What does lack of protection look like? What does lack of protection look like? Lack of protection looks like public disrespect and social media exposure. Stop telling all your business. That's not transparency, that's betrayal of trust. I'm gonna put him on blast. Put him on blast. Put him on this internet. Put him on internet. I'm gonna put it on. I've seen couples going back and forth on Facebook. I mean, they have a long look. I mean, the whole thing telling everybody their business under the guidelines of transparency, child. Stop playing. Shouts out to Trend. Thank you, Trend. Weaponizing words and emotions. Words just don't hurt. They reshape how a man sees himself. You know, words do help hurt, you know. They may say they don't, but they do. Lack of boundaries with outsiders. If everything and everyone have access to your relationship, nothing is protected. Oh my goodness. If everything and everyone have access to your relationship, nothing is protected. This is also a part of nurturing, guys. Here we go again. Competing instead of cooperating. You can't build unity while competing for dominance. Let me say that again. You can't build unity while competing for dominance. Let me say it for the feminists and the divine feminines. You can't build unity and harmony in a family while you're competing for dominance. Not gonna work. Emotional instability in the home. The environment breaks down both the man and the children. Because you know your children absorbed everything around. They absorb the environment. They absorb the things you say. And even if y'all don't say things in front of you, you know they can feel the tension or the anger or whatever going on between you two. Protection is a part of nurturing, ladies. Protection is a part of nurturing. A woman's protection is rarely physical. It's emotional, it's spiritual, it's social, and it's environmental. Ladies, let me say that again. The way you protect is emotional, spiritual, social, and environmental. That's how you protect your family. That is one of the major components of nurturing. Okay, guys? Y'all keep this lesson. I mean, you know. I'm trying. We almost done. Here is the real truth. All right, here's the real truth. Here's the breakdown, baby. Okay. A feminine, nurturing woman is not built by accident. She is taught, modeled, and she practices. Let's say that again. A feminine, nurturing woman is not built by accident. She is taught, modeled, and practiced. Nurturing is natural but not automatic. Let's say that again. Nurturing is natural, but it's not automatic. Society doesn't erase it, but it distracts and distorts it. This is the breakdown, y'all. This is what we learn. It is power, but misunderstood. Just like how women don't understand being submissive is very powerful. They just don't get it. Y'all get it one day. It must be relearned and redefined and refined. It is both a choice and a responsibility. And yes, it can be rebuilt at any stage in life. Feminism didn't destroy nurturing, but it did this. It removed nurturing from being the central identity for many women. And when something is no longer taught, honored, or expected, it slowly fades away. Feminism gave women freedom, but somewhere along the way, freedom stopped including the things that once made a house feel like a home. That was deep, baby. That was deep. That was kind of deep. So, for the mamas that have daughters, let's go through this really quickly, and then we're going to head over to Team Fatty. How a young girl or a woman can learn to be nurturing. How a young woman or a girl or a young woman can learn to be nurturing. Let's get through it real quick. My mouse. Come on, mousey. Thank you. All right. Let's get to the key elements of a feminine nurturing woman. We got to define it first, right? The key elements of a real feminine nurturing woman. Emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence, awareness of your emotions without being ruled by them. Okay. Reading the emotional tones of others, especially your partner and your children. A nurturing woman controls the atmosphere because she controls herself first. Self-control, guys. Softness with strength. Softness with strength, okay? Gentle approach with firm boundaries. Speaking truth without disrespect. Speaking truth without being disrespectful. That's important. Standing your ground without aggression. Creating a peaceful environment. Curating the emotional and physical atmosphere of the home is one of the key elements of a feminine and nurturing woman. care and consideration. I hear brothers and sisters say that word all the time. Consideration, being mindful of others' needs, moods, and experiences. Okay? Supportive partnership, being aligned with your partner, align with your husband, encouraging your partner's growth. Loyalty and protection, protecting the relationship and the family, not exposing it. Loyalty is a form of emotional protection. Let's say that again. Loyalty is a form of emotional protection. Affection and intimacy, expressing love openly and constantly. Affection is the oxygen of connection between you and your family. And expressing affection towards your children is very important to you guys. We're going to get into that in another show. And consistency, not mood based. Showing up the same in love, not just when you feel like it. Inconsistent love creates insecure homes. Inconsistent love creates insecure homes. All right. How can a young girl or woman learn nurturing? Let's get it. All right. Learn emotional awareness first. Learn emotional awareness first. You can't nurture others if you don't understand yourself. Know thyself. Right? Know thyself. Nurturing starts with self-regulation, what you see consistently, not what you can repeat, you can replicate. The next one is practice soft communication. Learn to say the same things differently. Instead of reacting emotionally, practice speaking calmly, listening fully, and choosing words intentionally. Choose your words wisely. Listen before you respond. Don't listen to respond, but listen before you respond. Tone can either build a connection or break it instantly. Even with your husband and your child, the way when you speak to them, they can tune you out. Study healthy examples. Now, here is something very, very important, guys. Study healthy examples. Modeling matters. If you didn't grow up to see it, go find it. What you want to look for, ladies? What you want to look for? Women with a peaceful home, healthy marriages. Shouts out to Mr. and Mrs. She said, okay? And balanced emotional presence. Not a cantankerous gutter site. Not a hyena. That's not who you want to study. How to learn while you're studying these people, while you're modeling. Observe how they speak, how they carry themselves, how they talk to their children, how they talk to their husbands. Watch how the husband praises the wife. Watch how the children reacts to the mother. Watch how they handle conflict and notice how they create calm. Develop empathy. See beyond yourself. Nurturing requires awareness of others. Let's say that again. Nurturing requires awareness of others. You cannot be selfish and self-absorbed. That's not how it works. No, that's not how it works. You have to have empathy for others. Learn to create environments. Nurturing isn't just emotional, it's environmental. Okay? You have to practice keeping space clean and peaceful. Let me tell y'all something for the ladies that don't know how to clean. Okay? You know why you feel all out of whack and chaos and stuff? Do you not know that your home is a reflection of your emotions and your mental and your spirit? If you have a dirty home, guess what? See, all these things that the foundation era, shouts out to grandma, how I was raised, all those things connect. If your home is clean and smelling good and peaceful, you creating a peaceful environment. So you bringing peace to your mental, into your body, into your spirit. All these things are connected. So all the things that you ladies fight against is actually connected together. The things that you actually want for yourself and for your family, they all child. Y'all get it one day. Creating warmth, being intentional about energy in a room. People feel your presence before they hear your voice. People feel your presence before they hear your voice. Creating the environment. It's your environment. So pay attention to your home, right? Because if you're always in chaos and you always in uproar, you always in drama, you always in chaos, just out of pocket and stuff. Pay attention to your environment. Your actual home where you lay your head could be the problem. Go wash some clothes, wash some dishes or something, child. Learn balance, soft plus boundaries. Nurturing does not mean overgiving. You know how when people get on Kendra G, oh, I just gave too much. That's how they say all the time. I gave too much. Being used, ignoring your needs. Don't do that. Practice saying no respectfully. Maintaining your standards and boundaries. Okay? True nurturing includes self-respect. How can you respect your family? How can you respect your children and your husband if you don't have any self-respect? Start small, daily acts of building identity. You don't want to become nurturing overnight. Practice daily, checking on someone, offering encouragement, doing small, thoughtful things for someone. Nurturing is built through small, repeated actions. Remember we said that's what happens. You have to model it and you have to practice it. You're being taught it, you have to model it, and you're being shown the model, and then you have to practice it. This is how it becomes embedded in you. It becomes a part of you. Practice consistency. This is where most people fail. Nurturing is not when you feel like it. It is when you're tired, when you're irritated, and when it's inconvenient. And if you go back to that video I played in the beginning with these mothers that hate being a mother, and they're so over and they're tired, they want to throw in the towel, they want to give their children away, is because they weren't taught at those gender reveals, at those baby showers, that nurturing doesn't stop when you don't feel like it. It's when you're tired, when you're irritated, you don't feel good, you're on your period. Somebody mess with you at a job. It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. Consistency builds trust. Consistency builds trust. So those were some tips on how you can start to develop being a nurturing feminine woman. Those were some of the tips for you guys. That is it, guys. I mean, woo-wee. So what to unlearn? Okay, what should you unlearn? ladies, this is what you should unlearn. To grow into a nurturing woman, you need to unlearn the following. I have to protect myself at all times. Vulnerability is important in being a feminine, nurturing woman. You have to unlearn that being soft is weak. You have to unlearn, I don't need anybody. I'm an independent, strong woman. Okay? I don't need a man. You have to unlearn that. Unlearn reactive communication habits. Stop being a cantankerous gutter snipe. Stop being so aggressive. Yeah, we know how it goes. So the truth is, you don't have to be raised with nurturing to become nurturing, but you do have to be aware, be intentional, and be willing to practice. Practice makes perfect. Growth is not just learning, it's also letting go. You have to unlearn all of these bad behaviors. Nurturing isn't something you're born perfect at, it's something you practice until it becomes who you are. Until it becomes who you are. Practice, practice, practice. Until it becomes who you are. Guys, that is it. We are about to go head over to Team Fanny's Ladies First. Thank you guys for coming through and hanging out with me. And I hope that I was able to give you some information that will help you in the long run. Okay. And as I am just going to share a little bit of tips, and then we're going to get out of here. A nurturing woman doesn't just love. She builds an environment where love can actually survive. She doesn't just love. She builds an environment where love can survive. I would say not even survive. I would say thrive, where love can thrive. When nurturing disappears, love doesn't always leave, but it stops feeling like home. So when you stop practicing being a nurturing woman, being a feminine woman, then it kind of leaves a stench in the home. You can feel the difference, right? I think I have one more. Where's my other? I have another little favorite one. My little favorite one that I said. Oh, here it is. Women didn't lose nurturing. Society made it inconvenient. I like that one. And here's another one I like. A woman doesn't lose her power by being nurturing. She shows her power by knowing when to soften and when to stand firm. Know thyself. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I am so glad I got through this. I mean, we got a lot of lessons that I need to get through before I do the switch on the Red Lipstick Vibes. Thank you, guys. Shouts out to Shiz for gifting one membership. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Shouts out for Uncle Ricky for sending the lunch money. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And shouts out to Trent for sending $10 to say, what's that, Red? Thank you, Trent. Then Trent sent the $5. He says, amazing freaking show. Thank you, Trent. And I think he was answering the question. I was on point. Yes, thank you, Trent. Then Trent came up with $2. He says, free what? Promo. Keep talking. Okay, all right. I don't know what that means. Okay, $2. Thank you, Trent. Then Trent came back with another $2. He said, think nurturing is for kids, not a man. No, nurturing is for a man. Yes, we nurture you guys too. Nurturing is about curating the home, creating an environment for the home, being peaceful. Go back to the beginning of the show. You will see what I'm talking about. Trent came back another $2. He says, zero concepts of men sometimes love and hate them. I don't know what that means, Trent, but shouts out to you. Shouts out to everybody that came through. I truly appreciate you guys. We are going to head over now to Team Fatty's. He is live with the Lady First Show. I'm going to be over there in the chat. I appreciate every last one of you. And here's your thank you.
These beautiful.
Thank you for the super chats. Now I can buy these red bottoms.
Oh, thanks for the cash apps. Now I can buy all these paper towels.
So thank you everybody that tuned in. If you go on the replay, please leave a comment. If you have any questions, if you have a rebuttal, you have your own opinion, just be respectful, and we respond to it. And I thank you guys for supporting the show. And all right, let's go to the foolery, y'all. I'll see y'all over on Team Fatty's Ladies First Show. Bye, guys.
Really, y'all don't know this, y'all in danger. I'm a threat. I'm a gamble with your life, cause you know that it's a bet. It's a bet. You know I ain't letting up, my foot is on your neck. Take my word for it, it's a promise and a threat. Really, y'all don't know this, y'all in danger. I'm a threat. I'm a gamble with your life, cause you know that it's a bet. It's a bet. You know I ain't letting up, my foot is on your neck. Take my word for it, it's a promise and a threat. I ain't never really wanna flex my gifts, but I think it's my time. Let me check my wrist. You can never get my shine, I'ma keep on grinding till I reach the tip top. When it's just in my jeans and I ain't looking back, cause I'm feeling like Chris Cross. They can never slow me down, but they need to hate me, now I'm feeling like Chris. Rock with the team, cause you know that we winning, we with it, we going, we flowing again. I might just go by a Benz, I might just blow my advance, whoa. I did it all for the feeling, alive but I'm making a killing. I'm gonna break every ceiling, cause I need a million, but I don't need your money, you can pay me in respect. Cause once I do it big, what's to follow is a check. I need 100 bags, nothing more, nothing less. And the ops feel away, cause I'm next, I'm a threat. Oh yeah. Really, y'all don't know this, y'all in danger, I'm a threat. I'm a gamble with your life, cause you know that it's a bet. It's a bet. You know I ain't letting up, my foot is on your neck. Take my word for it, it's a promise and a threat. Really, y'all don't know this, y'all in danger, I'm a threat. It's a gamble with your life, cause you know that it's a bet. You know I ain't letting up, my foot is on your neck. Take my word for it, it's a promise and a threat. I been feeling spectacular, flow so sick it's hazardous. Y'all still suck like Dracula. Sip this beat, let's back it up. And I don't care about critics cause they talk too much, and I know that I gotta keep on grinding, finding myself. I ain't gon' stop until I know I had enough. Mama, I made it, I know that they see me. I'm popping these bottles just like I'm a genie. I'm glad that you made me, it's all in my DNA. I'm about my chips like I'm working for Frito-Lay, and bet the bag on myself. I don't do this for my health. Every thread is a champion. Got the title, need a belt. I don't need your money, you can pay me in respect. Once I do it big, what's to follow is a check. I need 100 bags, nothing more, nothing less. And the ops feel away, cause I'm next, I'm a threat. Oh yeah. Really, y'all don't know this, y'all in danger, I'm a threat. It's a gamble with your